There are lots of seats at the front, so please come on down. Okay. Think you're ready to go, Dr. Quash? Good. So, good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome, honorable and distinguished guests, our esteemed Chancellor Félix Matos-Rodríguez, Vice Chancellor Denise Maybank, CUNY BMI directors, staff, students, faculty, and all our special invited guests. My name is Ian James, Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at CUNY. I feel extremely glad to welcome everyone to this much awaited, back in person, I might add, 17th annual CUNY BMI conference. We are grateful to Dr. Jonathan Quash and the organizing committee and all the volunteers who have arranged such a beautiful program. Let's give them a round of applause. Before we kick off the conference, I would like to express my gratitude towards you who sincerely contributed to this event in order to make it a success. This would not have been possible without the support of each and everyone present. Now, may I please invite to the podium the University Interim Director for the CUNY Black Male Initiative, Dr. Jonathan Quash, to bring you greetings and introduce our MC. Thank you and enjoy the conference.
Thank you so much, Dr. James, the tall Dr. James. I do want to thank everyone for being here. I also want to thank, though we are here in person, but we do have a few hundred people watching us online as well. So let's give them a hand. Today is a hybrid event, and we are streaming to various schools, and we are streaming to various campus projects through BMI. But we're really excited for everyone who's joining us today. From the small little CUNY BMI office, we do appreciate your presence today. We really are excited to be here. And the reason why we're here today, generally, when we have the BMI conference, we're at a campus. But because of COVID and a few other things, we wanted to kind of take BMI out of off campus for a day and be able to celebrate in this manner and in this way. We have some individuals who will be talking to you a little bit about why we're here, how we got here, and that kind of thing. But we want to thank the New York Mets and Citi Field for allowing us to be here today. Let's give them a hand. We are the spark that has gotten the season going. But we will hear from them shortly. But I do want to also say there are some directors who could not be here today, who for various reasons. Michael Dees had surgery yesterday and could not be here today. So we do want to wish him well. I know he is watching. He said from his hospital bed. Elizabeth Piamps is had to travel because of family problems that she experienced over the last couple of days. But we do wish her well and safety in her travel. But we are excited today because we have an MC that is above all MCs. She's someone that I am so excited to have worked with in the past while I was at York College. But she found the time, even though this is her birthday week. Happy birthday. Even though this is her birthday week, she said, I've got to be there with you today. So please let us give a rousing applause to Miss Cheryl Wills.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh, I'm going to wake you up in Citi Field. Good morning, everyone. I just turned 56 years old, and I'm very proud of that. No shame in my game. And I want to tell Dr. Quash, thank you so much for inviting me. I insisted actually upon being here because this initiative is everything. It is everything. I am here also because I'm a Queens native Queens, born in Elmhurst Hospital, so that's very important. I work for New York One. Some of you may have seen me. I've been there 30 years. I sure hope you've seen me. I got to go back. And we've been there 30 years, and I am happy to say that my goal for being on New York One has been to make sure African American males are properly represented on that screen. And I have done this very deliberately. My colleagues in the media have this habit of rushing when something negative has happened. They will drop everything if the police tape is up. But where are they today as we salute excellence among men of color? Where are the cameras? You know what camera is here? New York One's camera is here. You will see this tonight when I'm live on Live at 10. And before I introduce, I'm so happy to be in Citi Field. I miss Shea Stadium, I've got to tell you, but I'm happy to be in Citi Field. And I am standing here, ladies and gentlemen, and I represent an Civil War soldier who was named Sandy Wills. And he emancipated himself in 1863 and helped this country break the shackles of slavery once and for all. So you are looking at the product of a strong Black male, and I take his spirit everywhere I go as a liberator in the 21st century. That's what I think our young men need. We need a liberation of the minds and the spirit, and that's the goal of today's event. I'm so proud of Dr. Quash and this initiative. So I'm ready to hit a home run today since we're in Citi Field, and I'm so grateful to the Mets for allowing us to be here. Let's bring up Met's Senior Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, as well as Player Relations. Please welcome Donovan Mitchell.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for coming to Citi Field. Very exciting time for us right now as we're in the pennant chase. Hopefully tonight we can kick it off against the Braves. And I just want to say that this is a very exciting time, not only for the organization as a team, but as an organization in whole. My job, let me give you a quick background. I started out, I went to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. I played on a baseball scholarship there before getting drafted by the Houston Astros. I played with them for 7 years. And then after that, I started coaching with the New York Mets. Wasn't really my choice. The Astros didn't need me anymore. So I started coaching, and as I was coaching, I had my family right there. I was always away for 6 months, and I would come home for 6 months. I would see my kids, and I go away for 6 months. And as much as I love coaching, I realized that me as a black male, I wasn't in my family structure as much as I should have been. As my son turned 14, he was starting to get recruited basketball. And I asked the Mets, could they give me a job in the front office so I could be home closer to my family and be there for my young man. He is doing pretty well right now. He's playing some basketball. He just got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the one thing that's really important for me is to see how he represents himself in the community. He is a strong young black man, and he definitely is making his dad proud. I have two roles within this organization, and I'm sorry, and I have a daughter. She would kill me if I didn't mention her, who was a second team all defensive player in lacrosse last year as a sophomore. So I have to prop her up. That's my girl. I'm going down to see her next week. I have two roles within the organization. One, I am the Senior Director of Player Relations, which means I am the liaison between the front office and our players. Anything that comes up, whether it's a first pitch, a meet and greet, make a wish, anything that goes on with our sponsors, their agents, I'm the one who's running back and forth in that locker room every day. My second job, which didn't come up until the unfortunate incidents with George Floyd, is the Senior Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. This is a job that I wasn't prepared for. I didn't realize the importance of this job until I got halfway through it. And then I realized that there's a way that I have to represent myself. I have to show that I'm strong within this organization, but I have a job here where I can't fail. I won't fail. I have a good team behind me. And the importance of doing what I'm doing is to show the organization the strength of having a diverse workforce. We've started some different programs, and I'm so glad that BMI is here because we have some initiatives that we're starting to push forward now to where it's internships, it's fellowship programs. We're going to try to kick off next year a Mets developmental program where we're going to really emphasize the importance of bringing in diverse employees. And I'm hoping that with our relationship, we can start to bring some of you within our organization. A lot of times people think baseball, like, I don't like baseball, but there's so much more to offer within our offices, within accounting, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have everything else. So we're hoping that, my employer, Alex and Steve Cohn, have really told me, hey, they've given me the ball and said, just run with it. Whatever program you want to put in place, we're here behind, and they are really behind what we're trying to do with diversity. And I'm hoping that as we continue to move forward in our partnership, we can start to bring in more diverse candidates and show everybody why a diverse workforce is important. I want to thank you guys again. I want to welcome you to Citi Field. Hopefully next week I can say division champs. And I look forward to meeting everyone later on today. All right, thank you. Okay, all right.
Aren't we proud of Donovan and his work here at Citi Field? Give him a round of applause. And since you said that the pennant chase, tell us about this VIP room. It's really a beautiful room.
This is the Mike Piazza VIP room.
Wow.
This is something every year it seems to change. We have a different name, but then once Mike became a Hall of Famer, we thought that this would be a nice honor to have Mike's name on this room. And this is where we have a lot of our events, our Mets event staff who helped put this together. They've been outstanding, and just being in here, it's a good feel.
That's great. And I think a few of us might want to come back here if the Mets make the. So Have the card ready because a few of us may want to hook up. I'm just
I
saying.
think we can make that happen. Thank
Thank
you so
you. Good
much
to
and
see
happy
you.
birthday
Thank
again.
you, sweetheart. Thank you. All right, one more time for Donovan Mitchell. We have two powerful educators here, and I'm so glad they are here because they represent the best of not just CUNY, but DOE and just all things education. Dr. Felix Matos Rodriguez is here, and I know him personally. He's been on my talk show. He has an incredible resume, but aside from the resume, he has been dedicating his time and talent to young people in the city of New York for his entire career. So please welcome Dr. Rodriguez, CUNY Chancellor.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't get much better to get introduced by Cheryl. This is the highlight of my day, but to be among you is really the highlight of my day. So delighted to be here, and I want to welcome all of you to the 17th annual conference of BMI. It is so good. And I know that we've done this at least the last couple of years in the video screen and in the Zoom and in that. And, that has its merit and it allows to continue to do good work and to maybe include more people. I want to also be inclusive of our friends who are watching, attending the conference virtually. They wouldn't be able to participate if we didn't have that. But it just feels so good to have the energy, to have all of you here, to be able to shake hands, to bump into each other on the coffee line, to fight for pastries, once they call for people there, and to have that interaction that we're going to have with the speakers and the panels that we're going to have for the rest of the conference. So I want to congratulate the organizers. Why don't we give all of them a big round of applause for putting together a great program? And a couple of notes before I and my remarks will be brief. Do not be afraid. But I'm so honored to have Cheryl introduce me because um, if you watch television at all in New York, you know of her and you've seen her in her current role, but in other shows and in a very distinguished career, and that alone is an accomplishment, right? I've had the pleasure of also getting to know her on some of the other things that she does outside that very busy schedule of being in New York One. The story that she was sharing about her father is something that actually, when we got to meet initially, she was in the process of researching, uh, and she wanted. There was a personal journey for her, but it was a journey she wanted to share with others because she felt that there was a story to be told, particularly working in our schools, working with our in the K-12 system. And actually, that's when I had the joy and the pleasure of getting to know her when she was in that journey. And we actually did a couple of events together when she was telling some of that great story. So I want to give you a big round of applause and thank you. Uh, for all the many things that you do, and that's why having her being the MC here is an incredible gift to all of us. Want to recognize you cannot miss Vice Chancellor Maybank there in orange in the front in the front row. So I want to thank the leader of our student affairs. You can do better than that. Than that applause. I'm sorry, right? But thank you, Denise, for all your leadership and your hard work. Also, a colleague who is an indispensable partner for me, and I've been very blessed to have the joy of working with her for many, many years, Senior Vice Chancellor Grenda Grace. So I want to acknowledge Grenda here. Jonathan, thank you so much for the invitation and for putting together a great and a phenomenal program. Ian, thank you so much for your leadership, for also being the person that gets all the emails that I get on things that are not that happy. And that you have to navigate and deal with. So thank you so much for your leadership. Donovan, uh, I want to make an announcement, right? He talked about his career with the Astros, right? Uh, you all got your raffle ticket, right? One of the prizes is his rookie baseball card, right? That if you win, he will sign and you can then sell on eBay and get loaded, right? And I want to thank you for your hospitality. So great to be here. Thank you. And I look forward to doing a lot of things with the Mets under your great leadership. Thank you so much for hosting. Why don't you give us some love? And since this is being taped, I made up the whole thing about the rookie card. There's no, there's no such price, right? So I just want to make sure because if not, there's going to be a lawyer telling me that it was inappropriate. But you have a great program. I mean, I am so excited. And actually, one of the things that for someone who came to this work as a faculty member, right? As someone who is just enamored with what universities do. That space of sacrifice and hard work, but hope, right? Which are our universities. Um, and I feel really blessed to be here. I also need to be very, very honest and say that there's an incredible winning vibe, right? That we get in this space here at City Field, right? And I feel really, really good. As someone that was the former president of the CUNY school most closely located to Yankee Stadium, and then became the CUNY president of the Queens schools most closely located to City Field. I do not take sides in New York City intercity battles. We have four schools in Queens, three in the Bronx, so I remain neutral. I love to get free tickets from both. Right? So, but talking about that winning energy and that being in City Field brings, and I think that the idea of changing the venue was incredibly smart, and kudos for that decision. Um, the lineup today you have is inspiring. I mean, you have great, great speakers. You're going to be talking about some of your own work on the campus, which is inspirational in itself. But you also have speakers that have stories of incredible achievement at CUNY. Uh, you're going to be addressed later today by our mayor, Eric Adams. And Mayor Adams is a three. I mean, he might use the line today. He calls it CUNY's mayor, right? Because he started his journey at Queensboro, transferred to New York City Tech, where he got his first degree, and then went to John Jay to get his graduate degree and then pursue his first career, which is in law enforcement, rising to the rank of captain. And he will tell you that some of the great assets, some of the great talent he always had was connected to a discovery on a CUNY campus at Queens that he had dyslexia that was not being diagnosed. Right. And that he will tell the story being in I think in the Queensboro library and finding that out and that transforming his life, right? And now being able to be such an incredible role model as the mayor of New York City. So a great cutie story and someone who's been very, very supportive um, of our work. You also get another great speaker, Melba Miller. Who left work here at Queens, where she was deputy borough mayor a while ago, and now is the Association of Better New York with ABNY, and a remarkable public servant, and about to become a three-time CUNY graduate. Right? She's finishing her PhD in social work at the graduate school and has two CUNY degrees before. So you have a menu of incredible individuals who are going to be speaking to you today. And I'm so proud that many of them do have those deep, deep CUNY connections, which sort of brings together the entire efforts of BMI and the work that you've been doing and that you do every year on the campuses. Let me just the theme that I want to reference today, right, is to connect the work that BMI has done for 17 years and his work that's been evolving. Right, we've learned, we've adapted some things, we've modified some things as any good educational institution should in terms of our programming, and there's more to come. And I don't want to take away from any of the announcements of how do we move forward. I'm very proud of that spirit of transformation and of improvement because it is CUNY's DNA. I mean, we are here to serve the city of New York, all right? And that is not static service, right? What worked when CUNY was created 60 years ago might need to be modified to the realities of the city where we are now in 2022, right? We are coming out of a pandemic, right? So we are in full recovery mode, right? The city is still coming back from where we were, the last 2 years navigating with COVID. We've seen, for example, the flight, and I'm from Puerto Rico, so obviously the hurricane season has been brutal with us down in the island, and I have parents in Florida, so I've been watching hurricanes for the last 2 weeks constantly. But there you have a theme of needing to rebuild after those disasters. We're in the same place in New York City. And one of the things that you hear, it's easier maybe to get it at times when you see it visually, when you see physical destruction, that you need to rebuild smarter, right? That you learn something maybe about your house, your place, based on the tragedy that you face, and you ain't going to rebuild the same way you did, all right? Because you might be putting yourself against in harm's way. So in New York City, we have to do the same thing with our economic and our social and our cultural um, um, revival, right? Rebounding from the pandemic. We have to do it in a way that was different from the New York City that we had, because the New York City that we had was in a good trajectory, right? But had a lot of inequities. And those inequities demonstrated themselves in really, really fundamental ways in the pandemic. So we want to come back, right? We want to come back in a way that's more equitable, that is smarter, that produces a city where we will have less of those consequences should be, God forbid, be faced with that tragedy again. And there is no better partner for the city as we lift up all New Yorkers than CUNY, right? And that has been my pledge to the mayor, to the governor. I was with the governor in an event this morning, and about CUNY's role in making sure that as we rebuild the city, and we make sure that we want to lift all New Yorkers, right? That CUNY is an indispensable ally in making that happen. Right? The easiest part is to think about our student body and the talent that we have, right? And those new professionals that are going to be there and are going to be the backbone of the professional and the middle class in New York City. That's going to make the city rebounds back economically, again in a much more representative way, in the way that CUNY represents really all the diversity and all the talent that we have in New York. I'll be making that case to the business community as they look for their talent, right? That if they really want talent that represents New York, if they really want talent that understands New York, and if they really want talent that's going to stay in New York, there's no better talent than the students from the State University of New York. And I know many of you are graduates, and many of you have the joy of working with those students. So, very, very happy. Last week, we announced our inclusive economy, which is a program supported by the mayor, and it's directed at making CUNY be a key partner to our industries. We're beginning with some of the sectors where there's growth, green, tech, uh, healthcare, areas where we have distinction on programs in CUNY for additional growth. We want to expand the work that we do with our career engagement. If somebody asks me, and it is one of my priorities as chancellor, CUNY has the best track record in the country in getting people who come from modest backgrounds to go into the middle class and above. And we've done that. You can clap to that, yes? And that's documented by economists. You will figure the CUNY chancellor would be boastful about CUNY, right? But this I can point you to a few studies. It's not just my hype, right? About that role that CUNY has. But and we did that with a tuition that is affordable, right? And incredible faculty and staff that give 100% to work with our students. The one area where we have work to do is improving our capacity to get our students to connect with the world of work, to think about professional possibilities, to think about careers, to envision different scenarios. 40% of our students come from families where they're the first one to get a college degree, right? There might not be a clear map or a trajectory or some role models to give you some sense of what you could do. We have to do that at CUNY. So we have to take that role of the career engagement in a much more serious and integrated way. I heard Donovan talk about internships, and the joke that I have is when it's the time that the Lord calls me, and they put the tombstone, Felix Matos Rodriguez, patron saint of CUNY paid internships, right? Because the paid internships, they put money in our students' pockets, which they need. And if you're on financial aid and tuition is being paid, that's your money for food, for housing, for transportation, for all of that. If you're paying out of pocket, it helps you with that. It gives you networks. It builds your social capital. It creates connections and possibilities, either to say, whoa, I want to go this way, or hell no, I ain't doing this again. And that is equally important in the journey of our students, right? So this package that we put together with the mayor's support is going to allow CUNY to invest more in the support that we have in the campuses around careers engagement. And this is I'm coming to BMI. You want to make sure that right. This is also part of the journey, right? That I want the work that we do in this initiative and others, right, to be connected to that network. There's many great programs that already do that in BMI. We might have an opportunity to scale them up or to connect them with other opportunities. But again, that work that you've been doing, which is to identify great talent, individuals of great promise, right, with bold aspirations, and maybe not all the opportunities before to be able to channel that talent and aspirations in the most productive way, not having the opportunities, right? You have provided guidance, you have provided mentoring, you have provided professional development, you have provided pathways, you have done support, you have done all those things for 17 years. And that's indispensable in this journey moving forward. So as we try to rebuild New York, as we try to do it in a much more equitable way, CUNY is a key partner, and the work that you do at BMI is an indispensable part of that mix. So I want to thank you for all that you have done. I want to thank you in advance for what you will do moving forward, and know that this chancellor has your back and supports the work that you do fully. So thank you so much. I'm going to be here for a little bit. One of the things that stinks about being chancellor is that they pack me with events that I have to go to. So I might need to run. But again, I wanted to come here, congratulate you, spend some time with you, and know that I look forward to working with you in year 17, 18, 19, and big time 20. Thank you so much.
It's so good to hear that the CUNY Chancellor has our back. Thank you for those remarks. And I want to introduce your colleague. It's the first time I'm meeting her, but judging from her phenomenal outfit, you are the bomb. You get best dressed, that's for sure. And I know you have a resume to match that phenomenal outfit. Please welcome Dr. Denise Maybank, CUNY Vice-Chancellor for Student Affairs.
Good morning. Donovan's still over there. So Donovan, thank you for welcoming us to this space and to this place. And thank you for letting us know that we will keep you fed with interns and anyone else you need. We'll be there for you. We just want you to know that this morning. But we're so excited to be here, and I'm honored to be a part of this experience. So I want to acknowledge a few folks and just set a little context and get out of your way. But to Dr. Jonathan Quash, thank you for your leadership. You are everything we need in this time and in this space. And he, in his own right, is an amazing musician. If you don't know, I'm just letting you know. He's the man. Jorge Alguera, there's Jorge. Thank you for your commitment and consistency and for always being there. Thank you for that. To the BMI directors that are with us today, thank you. Because without you, we couldn't be here talking about all that we're talking about today, because it happens where you are. So thank you for that. I want to acknowledge our chancellor. You know, people kind of think about it and go, Chancellor, what is that? What do they do? Okay, works hard. Works hard. I just want you to know. And so, just as he said, he's got to run off to do other things, but he works hard on behalf of making certain that education is accessible, affordable, and available in the city of New York. And that's what it's about. So you hear his passion and you understand what he is about. So thank you, Chancellor Félix Matos-Rodríguez. To my colleagues who are in the room, those who keep me bolstered, to Senior Vice Chancellor Grace, to Dr. Ian James, wherever he got off to, I don't see him standing where he was. Okay. And to Zena, who is my right hand. Zena, stand up. Let them see you. She doesn't have on orange. I got to get her to stand up. Amazing part of our team, an amazing person in terms of women's centers on our campuses and so much of the work that we do. So I wanted to acknowledge them. But I want to, and I want to acknowledge also the folks that you're going to hear from today, the Honorable Mayor Adams, definitely. I can't act as though that's not going to happen. And to Melba Miller, who I had the opportunity to meet at an About New York event. It was amazing to just be in the space with her and to be able to interact with her. So you have a lot coming your way. But I want to also acknowledge our MCs because they were selected for a reason, for who they are and for what they do and for how they make known the spaces and places and things that we're about. And I want you to know today that BMI is about diamonds. I would like those in the audience who are a part of a BMI program or who are the result of a BMI program to stand. You are diamonds. Please be seated. And I want to share with you something. I'm going to take you in the Wayback Machine for just a moment. Just come on and go with me because you know that BMI started in 2004, but I want to take you to 2003 and I want to take you to Curtis James Jackson, 50 Cent. Because he had a song on his first album, Many Men. Okay. In that song, now I'm not sending anybody, those of you out there in wonderful webinar land, don't go and Google this because I don't want to be responsible for what you hear. But what I want you to know is that there's a line in that song that I think relevant for today. And it says, I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king and ain't been crowned. Now, the other words you may find in that song, I take no responsibility for. But that line I think relevant because a diamond in the dirt still has value and worth and is desired. The condition the diamond is found in is irrelevant because of the value the diamond holds. And so as I think about the work that the Black Male Initiative does in all of its iterations and creativity and all that happens, it is about polishing diamonds. It is about taking folks from wherever they come, because they are not their circumstances, and causing them to grow into all they need to be to contribute to our world, to our experiences, and to lifting New York. And so you today will experience some of that diamond polishing. This is about helping you to be better, to grow more. But we acknowledge of all that you bring. Who you are and what you bring makes us better. And so to each of you as diamonds and to all of us today as being touched by that special cloth of BMI, I say, grow, develop, and shine. Thank you.
Dr. Denise Maybank, thank you for those words, and thank you to both of you, leaders of CUNY, for being here, and for all of our colleagues who are here, including Dr. Jean Phelps of York College. I'd also like to bring up now Kimberly Gray, founder and CEO of UV, for a very special announcement and presentation. Hey, nice birthday.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you guys. Great to be here. So thank you, CUNY leaders, CUNY BMI, Director Dr. Jonathan Quash, Chancellor Rodriguez, Vice-Chancellor Maybank. Today we're here to celebrate 17 years of excellence, 17 years of community, and 17 years of supporting Black Male Initiative. My name's Kimberly Gray. I am the founder and CEO of UVI. We are a female-led, minority-owned, New York City-based technology company. And I'm proud to say that we launched our first product right in the CUNY system to aid with student engagement and mobile accessibility to courses, classmates, and instructors during the pandemic. I'm proud to say that our first client was at Medgar Evers College, followed, whoop, whoop, followed by Lehman College. Working with the mayor's office talent tech pipeline, we provide communication solutions for higher education, private organizations, and government agencies to enable instant feedback in real time. But that's not really the focus today. Today, we are excited to announce that UVI will be building the first ever CUNY BMI app. Yeah. Absolutely. So this will connect the 100,000 plus community of students, faculty, alumni, mentors, advisors across 25 plus campuses. Our mission is to unify and enhance communication across high schools, college campuses, and beyond to build relationships and networks to last a lifetime. This is the first application of its kind. It's a major milestone for CUNY BMI. Members will have access to mentors, internships, and job opportunities, as well as network for the brotherhood, all under one familiar social media style interface where you can control the data, get predictive analytics, and really be able to see the outcomes and success for the organization. Now, as we stand here in Citi Field and I look out at all of these faces, the faces of students, the faces of faculty, mentors that have made CUNY BMI great over the years. This didn't happen overnight. It must have been difficult and challenging. But with this new CUNY BMI app, we want to mitigate a lot of those challenges and difficulties that were once faced before by bringing a solution-based results. With the right guidance, with the right preparation, all of this can be solved. So let's prepare for the future, a future that requires us to have the technology and capabilities we need to thrive across whatever the boundaries are, whether it's social, economic, or race, we will thrive. When we talk about student success, we talk about providing equitable resources that students need to be successful and identifying where we need to close the gaps for success. Now, the CUNY BMI app will be utilized with our patented technology called Action Command Messaging, which enables us to instantly connect like a social media style interface with actionable data. So this information is what's needed to help students align with the right jobs, the right internships, the right opportunities. This CUNY BMI app will provide a stable community for supporting members. This will lead to a pipeline of success in the future in a place that they can call home. So Dr. Jonathan Quash and UVI Corporation, in collaboration together, we are going to build this amazing application and future web portal. Now, we can't do this without your support. When building any type of software for the future, it can be costly and it needs to be maintained. So we're counting on you, City Council. We're counting on you, private donors, to support CUNY BMI. Support us, to support their excellence, to support the future. They're an organization designed to support an underrepresented community. There will be pamphlets. You'll see them on the tables out here to learn more about the platform that we're building. And stick around this afternoon. I'm going to give a brief demo of the app. So thank you guys so much for being here today, and I look forward to the future. Thank you.
Kimberly, you brought that black girl magic up here. Can we give her a round of applause for taking the lead on that app? We're waiting for the mayor, so as soon as the mayor arrives, unless he's here, is the mayor here? Okay, when the mayor comes, we will bring him right up. But in the meantime, we want to get to some BMI Stellar Scholar Award presentations. This is such a round of applause for all of the honorees. And I'm going to call up the program directors who are going to present the certificates. And let's start with Borough of Manhattan Community College to present the first award.
All right, good morning, everybody. I need some more than that. Come on, good morning. It's the BMI conference. Let's go. Before I present this award, there's a couple of people I definitely want to shout out. One is my incredible team at the Urban Male Leadership Academy at the Borough Manhattan Community College, including my assistant director here, Mr. Lacey Aldane. Please give it up for the team. And I definitely want to shout out Director Quash. He's not only an adept administrator and great at all that high-level stuff, but he understands what it means to get in the trenches and really work with students and change lives. So I think he's going to be an incredible director for the BMI, and I know the BMI is in great hands under his leadership. So, Director Quash, we salute you. I'm not going to take up too much time presenting this award, but I do have to say a couple things about my student, my friend, and somebody I love like a brother. This is a gentleman that came from a situation that a lot of young Black men unfortunately find themselves into, getting caught up in, criminal legal system that at times can be, entangling and entrapping. This brother went through a very long and tough period in his life. And when he came out, by chance, we just happened to meet at the Borough Manhattan Community College. He was a student. I could tell from the very first time I met him that he had an incredible degree of focus, integrity, and he really wanted to make not only a difference in his own lives, but a difference in the lives of others. This student was an incredible student at BMCC, not only academically, but in terms of his leadership. He served as a mentor. He worked with other students. He imprinted all of the great qualities that he has amongst our strong student group. This brother wrote 2 books. He is now a fierce and strong advocate for those who have been impacted by the justice system, works with the youth who've been impacted on re-entry. In his latest endeavor, he's also an incredible tech person. He's a programmer, and he's somebody who's really changes the face of system impacted people. And he breaks every single stereotype there is out there about not only Black men, but Black men who've been impacted by the criminal legal system. So I like to call this stage my brother, Mr. Devon Milan. Love you, big bro.
First, I'd like to say thank you, but I want to send a shout out to Puerto Rico and everybody that's in the path of the hurricane. I wish y'all well. I know it's a struggle, and hopefully that we can send the same amount of money we sent to Ukraine to y'all. So, next, The brother, this my brother, I love him. He did make a mistake. I actually got 4 books out, but I know he didn't, you know, he didn't realize that he went to sleep somewhere. But the impact to me of BMI, academically, I never had a problem academically. That was never my weakness. So coming home, I actually did 19 and a half years in prison in a whole nother state. So when I came to BMI, it was more about socializing and becoming a human again. See, you don't know what you lose until you be around other humans. So it's like I had no emotions, none at all. And then it's like over time, I just store it out by being in the company of people that I don't have to wash their hands to see if a banger going a knife going to be produced or a razor, or I don't have to be super alert. I can't eat. So it was like a relaxation period, and I started to throw out, you know, dealing with, different people. I think BMI is, and CUNY, especially BMCC, is like the UN. I've never met, and I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but I've never met the level of diversity from an interaction level until I went back to school. Because it's actually my second time going back to school because I went to Norfolk State University. That's how I got down to Virginia in the first place. So it's like with me, it was like, yo, it was good to be around people, man, that saw me for me. Like I don't wear my past as a scarlet letter. I don't think it's an honor, and I don't think it's a disgrace neither. I made choices. I took self accountability, and then moved forward. So when I work with younger people, I let them see that you really didn't make no mistake. If you picked up a gun, you did what you did. That was a choice. Now, how do we make better choices? Some of these choices is based off our value systems, and let's look at our value systems, and that's what I try to attack and let them get to see. And I be the example. I say, well, if you want to do what you want to do, this is the results. If you fine with those results, I'm fine with you getting those results. Because I think understanding come in time. You can't beat people in the head like you some overseer. You gotta teach them through example. Like, yo, I am you. I love you. I understand where you coming from. So sometimes the work, because I work with the younger ones. So just saying that, you already know they know everything, everything, and that's fine. But how do you still reach them? That's the hook that I say I'm a magician. You know what I mean? Because what I do is magic. It's not. It's no hard skill sets involved. The hard skill sets is tech. That's hard skill sets. And thinking about that, I like to say that a lot of people have limited expectations for people that's coming home. They like to socialize us to the lowest rungs of society and think that we're supposed to accept that. So, like you got the people's champ, I feel like I'm the prisoner's champ. You know what I mean? I have to show them through example, so that's why I gravitated towards STEM. I didn't know what a browser was. I didn't know what Wi-Fi was. I didn't never see a laptop before, let alone a smartphone. Now I got 2 STEM degrees and currently in the DevOps engineering training program. So, you know, we are who we see we are. And I think that that's the space that I operate from. And I like to say thank y'all. I wish the Barons was here because I know Charles Barron started the BMI program. And I like to send them a shout out as well. So I like to thank everybody that, embraced me and showed me love. Hopefully I can be a representative and give it back tenfold. Thank you.
Let's give him another hand, Brother Malal Yousef. I want to just let you know before we get to our next honoree that some of the certificates they're getting two awards, but one of them is from the City Council Speaker Adrian Adams. Whereas a great city is only as great as those persons who give exemplary service to their communities, whether through unique personal achievement in their professional or other endeavors, or simply through a lifetime of philanthropy and community service. And whereas such service, which is truly the lifeblood of the community and the city so often goes unrecognized and unrewarded. Now, therefore, be it resolved that as Speaker of the New York City Council, she recognizes all of those award recipients today. She could not be here today, but insisted that each person receive an award. So thank her in her absence.
I was so touched by our first honoree speaking truth to power up here. And you made one glaring omission, and I'm going to call you back up. Author to author, you got to always talk about your books, baby. I know I'm not the only one here that was like, well, what did you write about? So I want to give you, don't you want to know? Come on. I want to know. Somebody might hop on Amazon right now because this is the kind of man that is worthy of our respect. Honest to goodness. He not only walks the walk, but he's talking the talk and he's reaching our young people. A lot of people, when they make it out, they say later. I don't want nothing to do with where I came from. So the fact that you are going back and giving back and still dropping jewels into our young people, you have my highest respect. So come up here and sell your books.
On the spot. My first book is called the Hidden Hand Duality of Soap. It's an urban political street thriller. Like I realized a lot of people like reading urban novels, but I couldn't. I had to put them. It's some medicine up in there for them, so I had to trick them. My second book is called Prison Survival Hell's Prison. It's my memoir about my 19 and a half years in prison. I wrote that when I started working in the space because I felt like a hypocrite if I didn't tell my own story. My third book, I'm currently a reentry coordinator. So my third book is called Staying Free. And it deals with my tactics and strategies I use because I got off parole early and everything. I left like 18 years on the door for them to have. So I don't got to worry about them. And my last, yeah. And my last book is called The Struggle is Real. One of my brothers, my mentors, he passed away of COVID. I mean, he was a poet, but he didn't have a chance to put out his own poem books. And I had like a collection of poems. So I put that book out recently, just this January, to honor him. It was just called The Struggle is Real. It's a poetry book. And those are my four books. And since before we go, Malard Divine Malard, I'm everywhere. Just Google my name, I'll pop up everywhere. Everywhere. And thank
Proud
you.
of you, brother.
I'm
Keep
proud
doing
of
what
you.
you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. One more time. They call you Divine, right? Malad Divine. Malad Divine. That's what I love when brothers from the hook. Malad Divine is my name. Thank you, Malad Divine. All right. Our next honoree. Okay, our next honoree comes from Bronx Community College. Please welcome the program directors from Bronx Community College.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Claudia Ramirez. I am the Assistant Director of the Future Now program at Browns Community College, and I feel so honored and blessed to be here this morning. Thank you so much for having us here. And I also have the pleasure, to present this great award to one of our wonderful and dedicated student, Joshua Castillo. Joshua, come. Joshua, he has gone through, different, personal situations in life, but something that we appreciate about him is that he has always been strong and resilient. I want to say on behalf of the Future Now family and BMI, thank you. And thank you for never giving up and for always striving to be the best version of you every single day and for being a role model to all our students at the program and in the community. Thank you so much for being here. We're very proud of you.
All right. Good morning, guys. I normally don't do this, but I'm a little nervous. But I'm honored to be here with you guys. I'm gracious. Never felt this important in my life. Um, I changed my life to the fullest. I used to be an ex-gang member, but now I decided to go back to school at the age of 30 and try to motivate my friends that still continually in the gang and so far I've been helping them. And this is the greatest moment of my life, and I'm just excited. And the reason why I went back to school is because I got tired being tired. I got tired being incarcerated. I got tired being judged, being a hoodlum, and just jeopardizing my freedom and my education. I'm also the first one in my family to graduate college. And I wish my mom was here. I'm so emotional. And it's bittersweet to see you guys here listening to my story, being incarcerated at 19, leaving the streets just 2 years ago, and starting all over was priceless. And I just can't wait to continue moving forward with my life and giving back to the urban neighborhoods that needs people like us to show them an example that there's always a way with education. And once you start continuing with the education, a lot of job offers, a lot of opportunities, and I never felt this confident in my life. And it's just bittersweet. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm just speechless. Sorry. And I would like to thank Claudia, Elizabeth, James for the Future Now staff that provided me mentorship and resilience. Without you guys, I don't think I would be here. I would not be here with you guys as much. And I'm just gracious, guys. Sorry, And I would like to thank Bronx Community College for providing the help they had given me. It was a lot of endurance, a lot of resilience. Days that I had no money to go to school, I had to ask the officer for metro cards and stuff like that. But I still didn't quit, and it built me into this man that I am now. And being raised by a single mother and seeing her hardworking, I had to give her something to show for. And it was the best moment in my life when she saw me picking up my certificate. And I also won the Khalid Brother Award. And being incarcerated at Rikers Island at a young age kind of turned me out, like continue being violent because I wanted to feel important. But I used that energy in the wrong way. And me using this energy in a good way got me this far. So all I'm saying is that if my friends was here, I'm sure they would be more motivated to become something better or greater. That's all I gotta say. Sorry.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I'm so proud of you. Hold on, stay with me. This is what I do. I interview people, so you gotta forgive me. Through that camera right there, we have hundreds of young people who are watching. And as a journalist, as an anchor every night, I have the misfortune of reporting, and I mean every night, about young boys who get caught up in gang life. And I'm usually saying a 12-year-old was shot, an 8-year-old was all the time. And I want you, for those who are not able to be physically here, to tell those young people who may be watching why they can make it out. Because it took a lot of strength for you to get out and to get out alive and to tap into your own power. And some may be watching, wondering, well, how do I do that?
Take every moment at a time and don't rush your choices. That's all I could say. And just follow someone that's doing positive activities and don't be afraid to be yourself. That's all I gotta say. And don't let another person that's leading you on to the wrong things. Listen to the elders, listen to your mother, listen to your father, because they know better.
But sometimes they're afraid of the gangs. You know, they're afraid.
They're afraid because they don't know how to speak for themselves. And sometimes you need a person like me to speak for them.
How can they find you?
They can find me
Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook.
Because you might get hit up real quick, you know?
You can find you can find me. That's also I have an LLC actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
good.
so my LLC is Urban Talent. So we provide a way to for you to perform in a cheaper way. So if you pay $25, you can perform your 4 songs.
Right, you rap and everything.
You also have an opportunity to be a Hot 97. I did business with DJ K Slay. I put the work. I have connections for all types of musics that you could perform. And I built my urban talent because the urban neighborhood needs someone like me to provide an event that's affordable for you to show your craft. And I think I am the person for you guys. So if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up on urban talent underscore is the label. That's on Instagram.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Proud of you, man. Proud of you. You are excellent. Excellent. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, Lord, I'm so emotional up here today. We got 5 more of these. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Yes, we're still on Bronx Community College. Welcome. Look at this brother in this suit. Come on now. Come through, ice blue suit. I love that.
You know, I mean, Cheryl don't even know. She's been to Bronx Community College a couple times. We brought you up.
I know you.
I got your book. I got your book. So listen, and also the chancellor's been there a couple times. He was just there recently with the mayor doing something there. So listen, I have 2 young men here. Come on up, guys. You guys look good. They got their polos on today. Look at them. Fantastic. So so this right here is Raphael Orquin. And this is Daquan London. 2 of my outstanding scholars. They stepped into leadership roles. They're on the SGA. They're helping out with all type of things. We had a 9/11 event. You know, they were right there with us. Matter of fact, I just noticed them. The creator of our program is here. Our Vice President Bernard again. Bernard, come on up real quick. Come on up real quick, man. I see you. Come on up real quick. So we just like to say that you 2 guys, man. I mean, we're coming back off the pandemic. I'm really proud of what you 2 guys have done. We're gonna get your certificates. I apologize because I didn't get in touch with Jonathan in time to get you guys your certificate. We'll get your certificates. But I just like you to know that these are 2 of our young scholars. If you all know about Bronx Community College, we are in a campus of a lot of immigrants, and both of them are from different countries, and they came to this country and they're doing some great things, and I am just so proud of them. And right now, and this is the visionary of our program at Bronx Community College, VP Bernard Gant. And I know Bernard's been watching us do this for 17 years. And you know, just want to say a few words to Bernard, and then I'm gonna let you guys just say a couple of things, okay? Go ahead, Bernard. Just say a couple of things about the program.
I'm just proud of all the work that's being done. Honor to the Vice-Chancellor. Honor to the Chancellor and the Vice-Chancellor. Cheryl Wills, you're amazing. I mean, I'm just being blessed back there. It's just a labor of love. No credit to me. It's just something that God put in me. Dealing with my own sons and their challenges, needed a place where they can get motivated. And it's my life's work. So I will continue to do that, whether I'm the director or the vice president or whatever. In my walk, our young men are so important because it keeps our families together. And I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Thank you, Cliff, for always recognizing that. I just wanted to sit back there and take pictures, but thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. And my name is Raphael, and I'm from West Africa, Ghana. I came here 2019, and I went to high school in which I wasn't that involved in high school. I was so quiet. The only people who know me were my teachers and my principal. they were the only people who know me in the school. So I had opportunity to graduate 1 year in being in high school, and I went to Bronx Community College in 2020 during the COVID. So it wasn't that cool. Yeah, I did my financial aid and everything by myself, so it wasn't that cool. So I met Mr. Marshall during an ASAP event, and they were looking for people to join the main program. I signed up. I just wanted to join and have fun. That was what I just wanted to do because I didn't have friends since I came to the United States. And through that, Mr. Marshall and Mr. Gent, and we have one other person over there who helped us and push us to the leadership roles. So my first leadership role was just to recruit, and I had the opportunity to join the SGA, and now I'm a treasurer in the Bronx Community College as a part of the SGA, and I think that's it. So I will give my brother an opportunity to speak to.
Okay, so I'm very nervous right now. So, so hi, my name is Daquan London. I'm a Guyanese American. I came here in 2017, and I didn't go to high school formally. I went to the GD program, which I spent like 6 months, which was pretty easy, and and the next step, I didn't really know what to do, but college was just like a thought in the back of my head. And then my major is digital arts, and this is my last semester at Bronx Community College, and thank you. And now I'm a senator at the student government, and I'm a peer mentor in the Men Empowerment Network. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations and keep up the excellent work. We're all connected. I'm so glad Mayor Adams is here. He was on my show this past Sunday, and I gotta say, having covered 30 years of mayors, the Honorable Eric Adams is the one who keeps it 150 about what's going on the streets of New York. And I do mean 150. He tells the truth about what's happening. And he is so passionate about what he experienced from dyslexia to all the troubles that anybody can go through. And he is an inspiration because now, as he likes to say, he's the mayor. So, ladies and gentlemen, on your feet for the mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams.
One rule I live by: you do not stand for me, I stand for you. Uh, I am not elected to be served, I'm elected to serve. And there was a speech I did at the graduation ceremony many years ago that I want to draw on that and reflect on it. It was the story about a book of matches. During the campaign season, when I was campaigning to become the state senator, it was during the month of February, and I remember like it was yesterday, on my way to visit my mother out in South Jamaica, Queens. It was one of those days when the weather was trying to determine if it was going to snow or rain. It was cold, the roads were slippery. But I was determined to see her because I remind all of my siblings all the time she had 6 children, she loved them all, but she adored me. And on my way pulling off the Farmers Boulevard exit, there was a man parked on the side. His car broke down. And I pulled over, and it must have just been the years of being a law enforcement officer. I wanted to help. It was around 1 a.m. in the morning. It was dark. And I remember walking to his car, looking in the back, and his wife was holding a baby. And I stopped him and I asked, "Sir, is it okay?" He says, "My alternator is bad and the battery uh, ran out of energy, and I just need a boost." to get into the service station on Farmers Boulevard. So I pulled up my car next to his and I pulled out my battery cables. And we attempted to hook the cables up, but we couldn't see under the darkness of the night. And neither one of us had a flashlight. So I remember I had a book of matches. I pulled out a book of matches. I struck the first match, the wind blew it out. The second, the third, the fourth, the wind blew it out. But I remember my dad used to smoke and he would cuff the flame to prevent it from going out. And that's what I did. And it took about 14 or so matches to actually accomplish the task of hooking up the positive, the negative cables and allowing him to get the boost that he needed to drive off. And I sat in the car that day and I thought that there's something symbolic about this. Each match was representative of who we are as human beings. We're not going to burn forever. The question becomes, what are we going to do with our flames? Some people are emotional arsonists and they burn the dreams of others. Some people use their flame like President Jackson of Medgar Evers College, who was the architect of this program that allowed it to cascade out to so many other programs that knew if we would just embrace our black men, they would reach their full potential. But there was something else significant. There were matches in that books, brothers, that no matter how much I struck it, it went light. There are people in our lives that are mere insignificant pieces of paper with red tips on them. They're never going to light. And we have to just move them out of our lives and be focused and disciplined on what we want to accomplish and ignore the noise. But remember what happened when the flames were blown out? I had to cuff it. Right now, there are people in the city and in this country where their flames are prematurely about to extinguish. And we are walking by them saying, good morning. They say, I'm hurting. And we say, have a nice day. We need to stop and put ourselves around them and prevent them from prematurely extinguishing their flames and reaching their full potential, because we're so directly tied to each other. If I lose someone prematurely, I'm losing everything that has to offer, and that will come back and impact me anyway. And what was the most interesting aspect of it? Match one did not see him move off the highway. We're not supposed to complete the whole task. We're just supposed to do our part. We're just supposed to light enough to accomplish our task so the next match can do his or her task and complete. And so these brothers that are part of this program are beneficiaries of those who are allowing them to have their match moment. Doesn't matter what it is. And so I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because I'm blessed. God is making an example of me. Here you have a black man, dyslexic, arrested, rejected. Now I'm elected. I'm the mayor of the city of New York. But what does that say? It says, young man in the third grade, and you're dyslexic right now. Your mayor is dyslexic. Where you are is not who you are. It is saying you're sitting inside Rikers Island right now. Your mayor was arrested in the 103rd precinct because you sit in a cell. That's not who you are. Where you are is not who you are. Your mayor lived on the verge of homelessness. I carried a garbage bag full of clothing to school every day with my siblings because mommy thought we were going to be thrown out, and she did not want us to be embarrassed by not having a change of clothing, so we carried it to school every day. So being homeless is not who you are. Where you are is not who you are. That's the message we must cascade out. People believe because they're at a bend in the road, it's the end of the road. All you got to do is make the turn. That's all you have to do. And we have to just pour this into our black men. Black men are catching hell all over the globe. Don't kid yourself. It's not only New York. Black men have a global phenomenon of being hated. And we have to be honest about it. We can't act like it's all right. Do a study. Have somebody broke down on the side of the road and have all different ethnic groups and see what happens. The only one no one would pull over the side of the road to help is another black man. So black men, if we don't give each other a boost, no one would give us a boost. And that's why I'm so fixated on the intervention and prevention of what we're seeing in our city. We're losing Malcolms and Dr. Kings. We're losing warriors with this violence we're seeing in our streets. But the goal is not to answer the question just merely with policing, because that's a downstream mindset, as Archbishop Desmond Tutu stated. We have to stop pulling people out of the river. We have to go upstream and prevent them from falling in the river in the first place. That's what this program is doing. This is an upstream mindset of preventing people from going into the river. That's why we're doing dyslexia screening in every school in the public education system. 30 to 40% of our inmates are dyslexic. That's a downstream model. Let's go upstream and pull them out. That's why we're putting millions of dollars into Fair Future, where our young men and young women are in foster care, aging out at 21. We know that 6,700 of them are going to age out every year, and we know they're less likely to graduate from high school, less likely to graduate from college, less likely to have a job, mental health issues, homelessness. So we are investing in them upstream. At 26 age out, 90% will graduate from high school and go into a productive life. So we had 100,000 summer youth jobs, first time in history, because we know if you expose young people to ideas and people, like what 100 Black Men are doing and other organizations are doing, and this organization, you're exposing them to opportunities. That's why we had the Summer Rise program, so they can go to school throughout the school year. We know you lost 2.5 years. We can't continue to pretend our way out of the problems we're facing. Let me say this to you, soldiers. Mommy told me when I was arrested and I sat in that kitchen, she said, baby, if you are fortunate to live long enough, you're going to be misfortunate to experience pain. You have to learn how to turn pain into purpose. It's going to be some dark moments. You determine if you are buried or you're planted. And you're going to go through some stuff. But while you go through it, grow through it. That's how you have to live your life. Because every dark moment I had, there was a lesson. I said to myself, why am I here? I'm supposed to learn something. There's a reason I'm in this dark place right now. And if you try to rush out of those places where you're going through those moments of learning, you're going to miss it. So you know why I don't worry about the future? Because I'm going to invent it. Don't be afraid of the future if you're the creator of the future. The future doesn't bother me. They say, Eric, this is the second most difficult job in politics. When does the hard part start? Being hard is being dyslexic and bullied while you go into class every day. Being hard is living on the verge of homelessness. Being hard is laying on the 103rd precinct floor while police officers are beating you. Being hard is having to go to school at night, 2 classes at a time, not knowing if you had enough to go the next semester. Being hard is trying to figure out how you're going to have a meal each day. That's what being hard is. You know what being hard is, so everything else is downhill for you. Now you got the tools and skills. Go back and reach back. You take your match and light another match for another young man so he could light another match for another young man. And we'll start clearing the pathway of what this organization was created for. Proud to be the mayor of the city of New York. This is a crucial time in our history. And you should be proud to be students right now, because the winds of change are never blown by adults. Winds of change, they have always been blown by young people. So take a deep breath and blow this globe in the direction you want it to go into. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, I know how busy you are, and I know you're in a rush, but we've had some very emotional stories from our honorees. Can they get a quick group picture with you? I know they would cherish it. All of our honorees, along with the CUNY Chancellor, and please quickly come to the front for a quick photo op with the mayor. I think they will cherish this forever. The stories are so emotional, and I know you know them well. Only, only the honorees, please.
Good, brother. How are you? Good.
All this black success. HBCU.
Right here, everyone. Right here, real quick. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, give me up one right here. Right here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck to all of you. Good seeing you, sir.
Thank you, always. Appreciate you. A lot of politicians would have ran out of here when they left the mic. Don't forget this moment that the mayor of the city of New York took a beat to stand with young men who are rebuilding their lives and giving back. Thank you again. Can we have another round of applause for the mayor? Okay, so I'm excited to hear from the rest of our honorees. Let's welcome up Brooklyn College. Brooklyn College, the program directors from Brooklyn College.
I gotta follow up all the stories, the mayor. That's all right. That's all right. We're from Brooklyn, so it's okay. So today I just want to recognize this young man, Timothy Wasif. You know, he joined our program during the pandemic. See a couple of my students back there too. And his commitment to the program has continued to the point where he's now working in student affairs as a grad student, right? And that's one of the things that we try to do. We try to put better. Yeah, got it. Thought my mouth was big. Anyway, we try to put our students in different offices on campus just so that when we need support for our students, we're able to call and say, hey, one of our students needs some support. And so Timothy, because of his commitment to the program, I mean, today we're doing a CUNY day for high school students on campus. My program coordinator is Nahir Shadiq. So I just want to make sure, shout him out. He's doing really great work. And Timothy would have been there giving a tour to the high school students as well. But given that he's here receiving this award, so I'm gonna keep it short and just call him up so we could get this show moving. All right. I'm a little tall, sorry. It's okay.
Okay. I'm so excited actually to speak today. I wasn't expecting it, but hearing all these wonderful stories, I feel like it's it's more than right for me to also share some of mine. Thank you, David, for introducing me. Before I begin, I just want to thank my mother. She is my support. She's the one who put me here. I wouldn't be the person I am today without her. So I have to, of course, shout her out before I begin anything else. But I just want to also give some context about me, so I know that David introduced me as a grad student. I'm currently doing my master's in mental health counseling at Brooklyn College. Thank you. I find it so important to be representative in my community. I think that people of color in general need more mental health counselors. I'm mixed. I'm Coptic and Colombian, and I found it hard growing up to exist in spaces where there are not many people of color without having to compromise my identity. And I found it difficult to hold on to my ethnicity, to my religion, to my culture, without it feeling I needed to be diminished in order to succeed or do well. So being on campus, being a part of BMI and BLMI at Brooklyn College has really lifted me up. It created a support system for me. I knew where I needed to go to receive help. David and Shadiq have been incredibly helpful, not just as I was doing my undergrad there, but also in my applications to grad schools, in my opportunities for summer programs. Just the amount of help that I received from them, I'm incredibly thankful for them. And I wish to be an asset in the future to the people who served me as well. I recognize that I am lucky. I am grateful. I've been put in positions to succeed because of the people around me. And I want to continue moving that forward because I realize how it can change the trajectory of our lives. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you for that. And we have another Brooklyn College, right? Did I hear? Okay. Let's try John Jay College Rising Scholars. There we go.
Buenas tardes. Good. So my name is Dr. Jody Rory. I'm the director of the Rising Scholars of Justice program at John Jay College. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Maria.
Maria Vidal, the Urban Male Initiative Manager, John Jay College.
So Maria and I work diligently throughout the year to support the students in our school. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rising Scholars of Justice program, and Maria as my partner. Our stellar scholar is not able to be here, but did ask that I share some comments with you so you can understand. What we do is we aim to increase the enrollment of students who are first generation low income and or students from underrepresented groups in the legal profession. And we meet this goal, Maria and I, and our team, Ariana who's here, and our partner law schools throughout the nation by identifying students through the BMI program in their college years and providing them with holistic academic professional support and early exposure to the study of law and the admissions process. So our students, like many other BMI students, battle with homelessness, food insecurity, poverty, and so much more. But we believe that our program is a way to end poverty in our communities. So we have produced, with BMI funding and the support of Dr. Quash, literally hundreds of students that have gone through our pipeline program. And we have provided them with access not only to law school, but to joint degree programs and graduate school. And so if you walk into the hallways of the Manhattan DA's office, you will see one of our attorneys, Javon Henry, and he's a district attorney, black male. We are very proud of that because that's an area, if we want to achieve social justice, that we have to work on diversifying access to the law, understanding the law that has excluded us historically for hundreds of years. So just so you can have an idea, before the pandemic, our program has hosted about 20, in one cohort in 2020, 18 students. They've received a total combined scholarship of over $4 million to law school. They were accepted to over 42 law schools. And it's because of the BMI funding that we were able to reach these goals. So our scholar today is not able to be here because she's attending New York Law School on a scholarship. So she wanted me to share with you that she was accepted to 12 law schools, 9 of those law schools with full or partial scholarships. So she had options that she would not have ever had but for the BMI Rising Scholars of Justice program and the BMI funding. So attending law school is our form of protest. We hope that everybody looking here today, joining us today, will continue to support the Black Male Initiative because these programs are our way to protest for equity and social justice, and they will change and remove and lift our communities from poverty. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now we'd like to welcome the program director from John Jay College P2P program.
Good morning, I think. My name is Denise Martinez, and I am the program director for the Prison to College Pipeline program at Otisville State Correctional Facility. And I just want to shout out that we are CUNY's only college and prison program. I run this work with Dr. Carla Barrett, who's our academic director. We are a reentry-based college and prison program that basically builds the bridge from corrections to CUNY. I have a ton to say about our award recipient, Michael Rogers, but I also want to share the space with Carla because I know you've been heavily involved in our work with Michael. I will just say, Michael, thank you for trusting us with your education. with your life, with your future. We are so incredibly proud of you. Michael is now in his 6th semester and has maintained a 4.0 cumulative GPA. Do you want to? He is a full-time applied mathematics major, and he has been awarded the Vera Fellowship, and he is currently starting that role this semester. And so I just want to say thank you for trusting us. Thank you for being an inspiration to us and for reminding us why we do this work every day. And also for all of our students, both those who've come home and those who are still at Otisville. So please come up and accept your award. Well deserved. Of course. Thank you.
First and foremost, I would like to say that I am honored and humbled to be here today. I was going to try to write a speech, but I decided not to because the truth doesn't need rehearsal. And my theme is feedback and redemption. You know, the name of this program is the BMI, Black Male Initiative. This is the Black Male Initiative, but I would not be here today if it was not for the women in my life. My mom, Vivian, my aunt, Ellen Marie, my lady, Cora Miles, Professor Dr. Barrett, the director, Denise Martinez. They've been integral in my growth and development. I try not to allow my incarceration to be the defining moment and to dictate the narrative going forward. So I strive for excellence, and I have children, and they don't listen to anything I say. So I said to myself, I could show them better than I could tell them. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I wanted to highlight that thanks to Michael Rogers, we have expanded technology within the facility. And so I really appreciate your selflessness, because while Michael was making the transition from one of our programs to another, before he left, he said, you need the guys to get with technology as it is today. And so today we have a better expanded research capacity within the facility. We're providing tech services to our students in the facility in the same way that we do to the students who we serve in the community. So I just really want to shout out how integral you were to helping us build that out, because you were definitely the one that planted the seed. So thank you.
And don't worry, brother, none of our kids listen to us. It's nothing personal, but I'll tell you something about children. They watch you. And they will take notes. They may not act like they're hearing, but they are watching and paying attention. Our final honoree tonight is from the College of Staten Island. So I want to bring up the program director to bring our final honoree.
Good morning. I'm Dr. John Meche from the College of Staten Island. A little bit about me. I have 3 degrees from CUNY. And if it wasn't through strong mentorship, I would not be here. I want to present this award to Sekou Blow. Sekou, the first year I became project director of the College of Staten Island, Sekou was in my first student cohort. Sekou graduated this semester after receiving his 2nd degree. And it's important to say that we all were on a journey together. I graduated with my doctorate in March, and my first graduating class of the College of Staten Island graduated in May. Sekou Blow graduated in May 2022, earning both an associate in liberal arts and a bachelor's degree in sociology. Whether internal or external to CSI, Sekou has always supported his peers, particularly those students who share community within the BMI office, at the College of Staten Island. At CSI, Sekou enjoyed playing intramural sports, which with others including team. I'm sorry, uh, sports which often included teaming up with other BMI students and the project director. Yes, sometimes I had to meet my students where they were on the football field at the College of Staten Island. Um, so in hindsight, Sekou wants to eventually become a New York City firefighter and follow in the footsteps of his father, which is also here today. So I would like to say, Sekou, I would like to bring you up and present to you this award and encourage you follow in the footsteps of all those who have come before you. So Sekou.
Thank you very much, Dr. Meche. To be honest, I didn't know I was supposed to give a speech, but I'll just keep it short and sweet. Just like you said, I did earn my bachelor's degree, and I'm actually the first in my family to earn this degree. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. Sorry. Sorry if I am stuttering. I do have a problem with that growing up, but I'm just very shy. But when I first started at CSI, I was really nervous. I didn't know where to go. I only knew a few of my friends that went there with me, but thanks to Dr. Meche, I was able to make a lot of new friends. Make a lot of friends with the professors as well, and definitely do well in my classes. And definitely shout out to my dad in the audience, and 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 to the rest of my family, like my mom and my mom and my brother, who are fortunately not here. My mom's working, and of course my brother is actually starting college at NJIT. But I definitely learned a lot at CSI, and to be honest, I try to go back there as much as I can. To try to see some of my friends, and to definitely see Dr. Meche again. I would say he's the father figure when I was in college. But yeah, just like you said, I want to be a New York City firefighter, be part of New York's bravest, just like my father is. And I actually wanted to be that when I was 5 years old. He took me to his first firehouse in Brooklyn, Brownsville. We put something on my head when I was five years old. I knew from right there then, that's what I wanted to be. So I devoted myself to learn everything about the department, and fingers crossed that I'll be the second generation firefighter within my family. Thank you. Thank you.
As the daughter of a firefighter, you got this. Your voice is important, and your speech was excellent. Thank you. So we're about to break for lunch. I just want to say it was an honor and a privilege to be before you today. I was very inspired by all of the honorees and just the unity of CUNY and what everyone here is doing. A very quick note about my personal story. I was touched by the mayor's remarks. He said, Black men have been under attack for centuries, and he is right. As the great, great, great granddaughter, like I told you, of a Civil War soldier, I have done the research, and I am stunned by what I learned about his being enslaved and visiting the plantation where he lived. And I've been on a very personal mission to redeem my grandfather. See, I'm very concerned with the young people, which is why I'm here, but I'm also concerned about redeeming those who can no longer fight or speak for themselves. And my grandfather, you can applaud, thank you. Very quickly, my grandfather, Sandy Wills, lived in a country that fully devalued him. enslaved him, expected nothing of him. He fought in their army, and when he died, they did not even give him a proper burial. He, it turns out, is buried in an unmarked grave on the plantation where he lived. And when I found that out, I said, with everything in my power, I'm going to ask the ancestors to help me because no one left me a roadmap. You see, my family left Tennessee like so many because they were living in a state of terror and they left everything behind. So I can tell you the ancestors took me to the very hill where he is buried. It's frozen in time. The same family still owns the plantation. And when I walked on the land, I could tell they were like, do not be afraid. And I was inside nervous, but I had a purpose to find my grandfather who served this country. And it took years, but I have pinpointed the spot. I have hired an archaeology team. We did ground penetrating radar. They told me that there are just several graves and he's one of them. And I'm going back with a shovel in the spring to find my grandfather and have him reburied with honor in a flag draped coffin in Memphis National Cemetery. That's why I check for the BMI, because you have to connect the past with the present. You have to honor the ancestors because the ancestors will help us snatch our children from the jaws of death and give them purpose, just like all of these amazing men have illustrated. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, Dr. Quash, for having me. Turn on New York 1 tonight at 10 p.m. I'm putting this event on blast, okay? And I am going to turn this over for the afternoon session to my colleague, Dean Meminger. I'm so glad he's here. He's a legacy of the great sports icon, Dean Meminger of the New York Knicks, and he's going to do a much better job than me this afternoon. So but we have a lot of fun always playing around in the newsroom. But we are both here. Our jobs are so demanding and our schedules are insane. But you see where our hearts are. Our hearts are here with you. So I thank you. Enjoy lunch. And we will continue to support each other. And here is Dr. Quash to wrap things up.
Let's give Cheryl Wills another hand. Thank you so much. Awesome job. We're so excited and so anxious also for Dean Meminger to take the baton and carry us through the second half where we have more awards to give. There are another half to give of awards from our amazing campus programs. And also we will be hearing for our amazing afternoon keynote speaker, Ms. Melba Miller. Just a couple of things I wanted to say in terms of housekeeping, though. We are going to break for lunch at exactly 12, but there's food on this side, food on that side, but there should be no food in here. All right, so when you do get your food, don't come back to this area. But yeah, go over there. Over there. Take a picture by the window, but just don't bring it into the conference area because then I have to stay and clean the floor. But I do want to thank everyone for being here today. I also want to let our program directors know, program directors only, that we are and the Vice Chancellor, by the way, who's my program director. We are taking a picture at exactly 12:45. All right, so exactly 12:45. Please meet me right over there by those doors, and our escorts will take us to the specific spot. Carter in the back will take us to the spot where we are going to take a picture. So please remember 12:45, not 46. 45. 6 is a different time. 45 is a time we went to. I know, it was my OCD. So thank you all very much. Have you had a good time so far? Good. Okay. Thanks again to all the people joining online, and thanks to everyone. Enjoy lunch. I'll see you back at 12:45.